have two of the premier Rise players in the ULCS in this game.
Or does he try to go back to the Galio that Vitality used so well for him back in Week 6? Specifically, I'm looking at Vitality and their early priority on a jungle pick for Kikis, because the 2 times they've had him in the roster and been on blue side, it's been a first pick jungler for Vitality. 1 time on the Kindred, 1 time on the Trundle. It is a consistent thing where they try to get him a super strong jungler so that he's allowed to play as offensively as he's been.
And we want to see, can he exert the same kind of dominance that he showed against Fnatic yesterday? Official just broke it down for us moments ago, but when this man is allowed to control the pace of the early game, when he's got the pushing lanes to back him up, it doesn't seem like there's a lot of ways to stop Vitality from having their way on the map. And interestingly enough, Vitality, the ones to ban the Rise out here.
Interesting. 2 bans targeted at Exileh in the mid lane. Your mind immediately starts springing off. It's Yasuo. That's the next most played champion for him this split outside of the Zoe and the Rise. And we have seen him do really good things on that pick before, but other teams that are able to punish him and camp that middle lane have really been able to shut him down.
Of course, the question always remains when we enter Unicorns of Love games, and similarly a Vitality game, it's which form are we going to see? Are we going to see the dominant form yesterday? Well, the Trundle may indicate that, setting up Kikis for success as predicted.
Every time, man, they're gonna go ahead and lock in that first pick jungler, and Trundle doesn't have that many weaknesses. One of his worst matchups would actually be against the Kindred, who doesn't have all those stats that he wants to be able to steal away from you, whereas if Unicorns lock in the Gragas like they do and give that to Kold in the jungle, while he will have some opportunities to look for ganks in the early game, Kikis is going to be able to crush him in any 1v1 jungle duel.
That's exactly how Kikis likes it. Of course, interestingly enough, the Orianna coming out. This is a pick that's risen in priority immensely this week specifically. Really only H2K picking it up a few weeks back. The first ones to kind of bring it into our meta at least. And surprising to see it blind picked. It's been kind of an emerging trend.
Yeah, we've seen it a lot. It started over in the LCK. Some of those picks have started filtering on over here into Europe. We've seen stuff like LeBlanc do very well into that. A lot more Azir here in Europe specifically. But Jiizuke, when he's playing with Kikis, wants something with the global. When you ban away the Rise, it opens up the Galio for him, and this will mean that Kikis can go into the enemy jungle once Jiizuke hits level 6 as much as he wants to.
Unicorns love now debating what they pick here, because they see a lot of engage on the side of Team Vitality. Of course, Trundle is a strong early jungler, but as we get later into the game, you're going to see that Rakan Galio combo. We know these guys can do it. We've seen it from Vitality so many times before. What is the answer? Kennen, now locked in.
I am so excited.
I know. Okay, so just discretion. I hate this champion.
I love
this champion.
I was a Kennen one trick for the first year I played League of Legends, and then I became a jungler, you know, and stopped playing him forever. But this champion is another one of those we've seen so much over in the LPL and the LCK.
But let me tell you, if I know anything about Season 5 Kennen, it's going to be useful here.
Hey, I started in Season 3, man, but it's actually so strong in the top lane. Beats almost any other champion in the 1v1, can shut down picks like Gnar. The best pick we've seen into it has been the Jace, but that's not something you usually see in Europe.
All right, now I do want to say Xayah has been banned away, denying the Xayah Rakan combo, and Kennen, I love it, but this is like Jace. This is like all those other side lane split pushers where you have to be better than your opponent. You have to play so flawlessly to make it work, and I don't know if WhiteKnight has been that guy. Darius now banned away as well, though, so a lot of attention being paid to the top side of the map. We'll see how this continues and actually see where the Kennen goes 100%.
Yeah, we do expect to be top lane. A little bit of speculation here because there are different styles. You can play AD for the split push Kennen, you can go AP for the team fight, and I think when you have an Orianna and a Gragas at your side, you want to be playing for that team fight. You want to go AP, but that means that Neon is going to have to step up in the bottom lane and pump out the physical damage.
And how will they set him up to do so? 2 AD carries already banned away. Vitality debating. Rumble will be taken off the board. Interesting that they continue to ban top laners with the Kennen locked in. Perhaps they know something we do not. Maybe the Kennen goes into the hands of Neon on the bottom side. Can't imagine it happening, but I have to put it out there. I know that the meta has kind of stabilized Ender, but I feel like anything is still possible.
Yeah.
We're going to have to wait to see, though, because the Alistar doesn't really show us anything.
Yeah, Kennen is one of the most flexible picks in League of Legends, can go into so many different lanes, but for Vitality, we're looking for more team fight presence. Of course, they can't get the Xayah for themselves in the bottom lane, but Attila has loved picks like the Swain in the past. If they want to pair that up with the Rakan in the bottom lane and look for all these mid-game skirmishes that have worked for them so consistently well, then you just draft as much engage as possible.
Dude, Wombo combo. These are the best teams to cast ever because all you do is look for one ultimate and you scream and you're almost always right because they either win the team fight or they immediately die. regardless of what happens, I'm excited to see. Now rounding out the composition,
There you go.
Swain coming through, hard CC in the bottom lane potentially, combining those two champions together, the Rakan and the Swain. Unicorns of Love know what's in front of them. They see the wombo combo, they see the shotgun. Maybe find a riot shield, something to stop a little bit of what's going on, or are they just going to respond with a wombo combo of their own? They say, hey, you want a 5v5, go for one shot, one kill, we'll try to do the same.
Oh man, there's so many options. I feel like they really need physical damage right now. And it could be a Yasuo. So now here's the thing. We've actually seen Orianna bottom lane. I think this is an Orianna for Neon, and they're going to put Exileh on the Yasuo on one of his best picks.
All right, I'm
Okay, calling it now, baby.
You have till 20 seconds. I'll make sure, I'll try to get the audience to give you a round of applause if you're right, but I think you're trolling a little bit here.
No.
I don't think we're going to see it, man.
Man, you might not be watching enough LCK. We've seen a lot of Orianna in the bottom lane. While I think that, you know, the combination of Alistar plus Yasuo is strong, you don't need that for the laning phase. I think you put a mid, man. I think you want Exileh piloting that champion.
Very good. Oh my God!
Let's go, baby!
There it is,
Let's
audience.
go.
He earned it. God, Orianna, Alistar bottom lane. My God, Rocky Mountain Oysters. The combo returns to League of Legends. Put the ball on the cow. The cow makes things happen. Yasuo there to follow up. Ender, I see wombo combos left and right, buddy. You gotta have to break this down for me. What does anyone do before they group as 5 and try to murder each other? What happens before that point?
I mean, if you're looking at the side of Vitality, I think you literally try to put WhiteKnight into the gutter. Jarvan plus Trundle can absolutely shut down this Kennen in the early laning phase. So we're gonna see Kikis playing around that top side of the map, trying to limit the ability for this Kennen just be an absolute demon in the mid-game team fights.
Do Unicorns of Love come in with a strategy of their own, or do they just say, hey, we need to keep WhiteKnight from getting put into the dumpster, let's just stop it from happening?
That's got to be it. And if Kold, sure, he can look for a gank around the top side, but more than anything, you just want to buy him some space. And interestingly enough, deviating from the strategy, it looks like WhiteKnight's going to be taking press the attack on Kennen. That's going to be an AD split push focused Kennen, which changes things up a bit for their composition.
Maybe not looking for the full-on 5v5s, Ender. We're going to find out. Vitality on the blue side, Unicorns of Love on the red, folks. It's a matchup we've been waiting to see because every matchup this week has been, well, a little bit crazy. Now, we do have a pause.
No,
So
don't
if you're
kill
one-
my hype, Dracos. Don't do this to
So
me.
here's how this works. We take a break.
Okay.
We hit that hyperbolic time chamber. If you're a DBZ fan, we come out, everything's fine, and we just pretend like there was never a break. You just hold on to that energy, you put it on a shelf somewhere, and you come back after the pause and you start screaming again.
Yeah, and here's the thing. You're on stage right now. You're one of these players. You can't talk to your teammates. You're just thinking about how this early game plays out. Both Kikis and Kold are racking their brains right now. How do they play out this early game? How do you try to shut down the opposition? And I keep looking at these runes up here for the top laners because Cabochard is taking Summon Airy on Jarvan. There's actually serious Q poke you can get down with this champion. He's not going to lie down and let this Kennen beat him in the top lane. He's looking for some kills.
Look, all I'm saying is this man didn't go electrocute, so clearly he's not committed to all-inning and ignoring the jungler completely.
It's the Q poke.
Q-poke's respectable, man, but every time I see Jarvan, I just want to see the flag and drag, although I'm curious to see how this area works out, because on the opposite side, WhiteKnight, Ender, I think it's important we talk about this. This guy has not been a rock in the top lane. He's struggled. He's had 1 or 2 really good performances. He's had some really mediocre ones. And now you're putting this guy on the split push Kennen. When I see this, I think of the big moments. The SMEB moments, the moments where this flame, even if you want to go back far enough, 100 CS leads, huge team fights, unstoppable split pushing. Is WhiteKnight a high enough caliber player to pull this off?
I mean, I think you look at his track record in solo queue, you look at some of his performances here in the ULCS, he can have bright moments similar to a lot of the players on this Unicorns of Love squad. This team, these players, they just can never maintain that high level, and that's something we've been asking of them time and time again. As far as trying to diversify their strategies a little bit on the Unicorn side, maybe ease off Exileh a little bit, let WhiteKnight step up and do some carrying work. They've got to try something because right now playoffs are a distant dream for this team, and if it means putting WhiteKnight on a top lane Kennen to try and carry your team to a victory, I'm all for it.
Yeah, and to be frank, I like it. We see so many teams that lose and continue to lose and don't really mix things up just across League of Legends as a whole, and changing something always feels important. You know, the old adage, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. Well, there's the opposite too.
Yeah.
If it is broken, probably
Please
try
fix
stuff.
it as fast as
and
possible.
if you can't figure it out, try some other stuff. And as opposed to just trying to duct tape it up, you know, and play what's OP, try something that's personal and unique to your style. And I like that from the Unicorns of Love because this is old school classic Unicorns of Love. And in the sense that if the Kennen gets to a point where he wants to team fight, we will see the 5v5 group mid call back to the Vizichachi Hillisang days of Unicorns of Love, which is hilariously oftentimes the Vitality strategy. Although yesterday they did show an incredibly dominant early game, very different from what we'd come to expect from them. Yet I'm still hoping. I'm holding on, man. I love the 5v5 mid style. It's just like, let's get some arena going, ignore the side lanes, let's group up, let's fight, let's get some murder going.
Yeah, I mean, here's the thing though, is that I'm not actually convinced that Unicorns of Love are going to be looking for that team fight anymore, looking for that same level of 5 versus 5, and you take an AD Kennen, you're 100% looking to split push and pressure the opponents on the other side of the map. You want low kill games, you just want him to build up a CS advantage, not die himself in a side lane, and then use that to take down a lot of turrets, make sure that Vitality can't find that engagement. And that's where things get really challenging here for the Unicorns of Love. We talked a bit about the Rakan plus Galio combination, but we didn't even touch on the Jarvan Galio combination that was so deadly at the beginning of spring here in 2018. You remember Jarvan out of the jungle, comboed that up with Galio mid lane, basically pick or banned in every single game. Well, all of a sudden, Vitality have a formidable team fighting composition.
All right, and as an update, Neon, of course, coming in, reported a rune issue, didn't have stopwatch, intended to, you know, have stopwatch.
You want stopwatch against this team.
We checked it back, did not click save on the old rune page, and as it was a player issue and not a client or technical issue, we will be playing through. So you said you need stopwatch. He's going to have to spend the 600 gold, Ender, and it is now time to get back in the game, folks. Bring that hype back off the shelf. Vitality versus Unicorns of Love. Is it time? Is this where we see the upset? Do Vitality continue their quick rise up to the top of the standings? Do Unicorns of Love, can they start their own miracle run? They've seen Giants start it. Maybe it's their turn now.
So many questions to be answered in this game because for Unicorns, all of these games become do or die. They need to win out their next 5. That'll put them 9-9 in the standings, maybe then force a tiebreaker or eke their way into a 6th place finish during the split. But regardless, it is going to be a monumental journey for this team. And on the other hand, Vitality may be trying to bump themselves up in the standings. How high can they go? Because the top teams in the ULCS seem vulnerable at the moment.
They definitely do. And almost any team seems vulnerable at this point. And that's the beauty and, of course, the terrifying part. If you're prepping coming into this, you got a week against 2 opponents. You see, hey, maybe one of them is Unicorns of Love. You got your other opposition. You know, you prep mostly for Fnatic. You forget about Unicorns of Love. And then this team comes out of nowhere swinging. And that's how you start to lose games. So difficult spot for all these teams to be in. For now, though, we do see early trading. The airy Jarvan, the damage you talked about, Ender. Look at that. Oh, so much.
It's so much damage, Drakos. Yeah, no. This is a classic counter pick, like literally Season 3 counter pick. You talk about Jarvan top lane against the Kennen because Kennen doesn't bring any innate sustain to the top lane, so you can try to poke him out as they go for a gank bot.
Pulling it back. Jactroll, where's he going to go? Are they going to try to find anything else? The flash out immediately. Solid early gank from Kikis to shut this one down. Not going to find the snare, though, on the back half. Both sides walking away, but already burning summoners. No stopwatch as well. Neon having a rough game thus far.
Yeah, that cannot feel good at all for him, especially in this matchup where you are very exploitable, especially once level 6s come around even a little bit earlier on. But they picked that matchup for this mid lane to let Exileh be the one piloting the Yasuo against the Galio, who typically struggles against physical damage dealers in the mid lane. We've seen picks like Talon do very well, Yasuo as well, but Kikis wants to keep playing aggressive.
Keep bullying out here. Exileh is going to burn any sums. Go forward. The taunt comes through. Kikis. Are they going to try to force the flash? Kold is right there. Red buff is now ticking. The slow is down. Kold goes forward. God, both teams so patient on these summer spells. No one looking to overextend here, but Ender, as that play kind of fizzles out, as Jiizuke will get to return to lane and try to push a little bit. I think it's important that we talk about Kikis. So we thought, hey, this guy might be an upgrade, but he was a huge upgrade yesterday. He was so dominant, and already in the first few minutes, he's ganked twice.
Yeah, I mean, it's been fantastic stuff out of him, just really revitalizing this roster as he looks for another gank in the top lane.
Flag and drag does connect now. Lightning Rush to try to take WhiteKnight out to safety. Cannot find the stun, has to flash over the pillar immediately. No hesitation as he goes in. First blood dropping for Vitality. That's the kill for Kikis.
I'm telling you, man, you have to protect the Kennen in the early game. He's so vulnerable to the pillar, plus the flag and drag combo there from Cabochard is down bottom lane.
Hold that thought, Attila. What are you doing? You've overstayed your welcome. Neon does not hesitate. Clockwork wind up. Clockwork take down as well. Can they walk down Jactroll? Nowhere for him to leap out. Are they going to commit anything else? The flash out. They're so hungry for it, but just action across the map. There's a trade in the mid lane.
It doesn't stop.
We're going to hold off on calling this one. There's no tornado there, so they're going to back off. But a brief moment of pause before a TP back to the bottom lane, and they're already trading again. This is what I want when I see Vitality and Unicorns of Love playing Ender action.
Dragos, we knew this was going to be a bloodbath, but I didn't expect it to start at 3 minutes into the game. Already 2 kills across these two teams, and it's just not going to stop because now Kold has to be super mindful of the top lane as Exileh gets chunked.
Staying too long. Jiizuke, ooh, flash out. Jiizuke, I feel like he could have gone for the flash auto, but just wants to play it safe, wants to play it patient. Good on him, and Kold sees 2 members coming and just decides to run out. Now they're going to try to get pressure back into the mid lane. No TP, of course, for Exileh, so the farm is going to be donated over to Kold as he has to hold that one.
Yeah, the reason that trade went so poorly is because Jiizuke actually based, got back to full HP, teleported in with an item advantage with that Dark Seal, and you can see, even after a death in the top lane, WhiteKnight will still win this matchup. But you have to look again once the Jarvan hits level 6 for a gank. While bottom lane, even though Neon's level 2, down in this matchup, Totoro still goes in because Alistar deals an absurd amount of damage at that level 3 point and does most of the work while Neon just assists from afar.
Happy to have that extra little bit of damage. Still, though, they're losing out on the pressure war as Swain continues to push in here. No real hesitation on the side of the Unicorns, or rather the Vitality lineup to keep the pressure up. But Ender, we said, put the Kennen down. And for Unicorns of Love, stop the Kennen from getting put down. Instead, they're going to try to play around the bot lane because Totoro is looking to make the play. Stun now stacked up. He's going to lock up. Attila, yeah, bye-bye, buddy. That's all she wrote. Kold going to grab that one. Clean plays from the Unicorns of Love. Picking up a different strategy.
Yeah, I mean, as soon as you see Neon and Totoro win that 2 versus 2 matchup, get both flashes off the Vitality duo lane, Kold makes his way immediately on down there, even taking the Electrocute for a little bit of more early game damage to punish the shoving duo.
And Ender, of course, Vitality still taking control on the top side, still looking good. You can see WhiteKnight playing pretty scared here, respecting the MIAs, not looking to even step forward, knowing that the flag and drag could mean death if someone else is there. But for Unicorns of Love, we always talk about wanting to see those laners step up. Kold, we know he can set people up for success. He just needs someone to carry it through. In this game, could be Totoro and Neon that can bring it home. Exileh still potentially going to hold his own in the mid lane, but Jactroll looking to give Jiizuke a little bit more support. Taunt does connect. Chain CC does manage to come through. Are they going to get the knockup as well? They have managed to take him down. Exileh, will he manage to make it out? Wins the war. No chance.
And up in the top lane, Kikis trying to counter jungle away from Kold. They're just going in.
Dangerous. Cataclysm, the flash out. Ooh, immediately the combo. Galio was here too. The map movement from Vitality, asserting their dominance, but Totoro ready to go over the wall. WhiteKnight, no ultimate yet, though. Could be in trouble trying to punt him out, but still the taunt connects. WhiteKnight goes down. That's the double dropping for Cabo. Totoro next on the menu potentially can find the stun. Can he take anyone else out? They managed to get him down. Nobody drops for Vitality. That is a clean dive.
Oh my god, Vitality just run all the way across the map, finding fight after fight after fight. This is why this team is so good. Even if they, take a little bit of a step back in the bottom lane, they keep pressing forward. It starts in the mid lane with the roaming of Jactroll. Right after his duo dies, he comes into the mid and they punish onto Exileh, who was trying to deny some minions away from Jiizuke.
Boom. Got him.
And then top side, of course, you have Kold, who's relatively squishy at this point in the game. Unicorns Love think they can make this play because Totoro's on the roam, but you can't make this happen against a level 6 Galio. And you see on this dive, Totoro W's forward as the charge is taunting. He can't get the knockup to trade a kill.
And the lane advantage. They get it as the wave collapses.
Man.
The Kennen can't get level 6. If he had ult there, he could have killed like 3 people.
So rough.
But he doesn't have it. The beautiful timing there from Vitality. And one guy I just want to give praise here, assuming we don't see anyone die in the next 2 seconds. Well, Jactroll's going to pull back. And that's important because Jactroll's the guy that I want to talk about. This man has been inconsistent for Vitality, but he's been looking so good in the last few games. He has been everywhere on the map. Look at that K+A at 15. 15 minutes, 100% early kill participation. Nobody dies without Jactroll having a say in it when Vitality are doing well.
Yeah, and I mean, we're only 8 minutes into this game. He's already been a part of 3 kills as Kikis is not relenting whatsoever in the top lane. They will secure this turret. Kikis was able to steal away a red buff as well, and Kold just has to jump off of this Kennen train. This matchup is terrible. He's not going to be doing much. You have to all in for the bottom lane, which is going well.
WhiteKnight. That's going to be bad news. They're trying to knock him back. Does not connect. No chance for Exileh to use the ultimate there. Still running. Guys, there's a Trundle under the tower back there.
So that's not fun for Kennen when you're level 6 and...
Ender, I have a theory.
Oof. What is it?
Vitality come in. They watch H2K get the upset. They go, boys, we had all this stuff planned. Everything goes on. We are not getting upset today. We are killing everyone in the first 5 minutes. We are doing whatever it takes. We are not going to be another team to get upset on this stage. And they're bringing it home right now, Ender. 3K gold advantage, 9 minutes into the game. 1-0-3 jungler and mid laner as well. The 2-0-2 J4.
Look at this disadvantage for Cabochard in the top side. 79 CS to 43, and even Trundle is smashing WhiteKnight in the 1 versus 1. This man will not get a chance to breathe because now he's flashless against the Cataclysm, which is basically a guaranteed kill for Cabo.
WhiteKnight hiding in the brush there. Normally I'd say he's waiting to ambush someone, but he's 40 CS down. So I think he's just waiting to hope he can farm safely against the Jarvan. And sadly for Unicorns of Love, there's not really a play for them to make elsewhere on the map. The Vitality bottom lane has been struggling. Attila has been caught out once or twice, but not so much that Neon and Totoro can just all in at a moment's notice and force these plays. Totoro, though, just now hits level 6. Maybe this is enough to be the difference maker.
Yeah, well, the biggest issue for Unicorns is that you'd love to make plays around the bottom lane, but you're against a Galio, who of course can react. So they will have to get both Kold and Totoro to this mid lane, but Vitality might have other plans in mind because they've been putting so much support into Jiizuke, allowing him to press on forward so far this match.
And you can see how far behind Unicorns of Love are by the way that Kold approaches his own jungle. This man walks up to the bush and walks back as he places a ward, afraid that there is a Jarvan in that brush waiting for him. He knows what is his territory, and it's very little at the moment. That means the Trundle could get the chance to solo out that Rift Herald. The plays try to go down on the bottom side, but Totoro taking a bad exchange there in the end.
Yeah, and Kold might be playing a little bit scared, but he's not building scared. He went for the Runic Echoes. He's trying to get that full Wombo combo, the burst damage to chunk out some people, but as soon as Magic Resistance starts coming through on the side of Vitality, I feel like this game gets significantly harder for the Unicorns of Love, because right now, their physical damage dealers are the ones that are struggling.
It's definitely the case. Now, the good news for Kennen is it's going to be really hard for him to play any kind of side lane. His ult, though, will always have value. At least for the one time he gets to use it if stopwatch is there.
Okay.
CC coming through on the taunt there. Kikis is here as well. Unicorns of Love, this could be their chance to turn it around, trying to make it out. Immediately taken down. Totoro going to snag that kill. Kikis running for his life, but just one picked up from Unicorns of Love in the end. But that's something. Could be the start to a turnaround.
And that's the only lane where they can actually make a play happen. I love seeing Kold and Totoro play League of Legends because they're able to identify those sorts of weaknesses or those areas where they can exploit the opposition. In this case, you have to go to the source of the global and shut down Jiizuke. The difficulty for them is that Herald was just taken down by Kikis while that play was in motion, so they are unable to reclaim anything off of the map other than some free breathing time for Exileh to farm in the mid lane.
Maybe that's what's going to be what it takes. When we take a look back on how this play unfolded, this is what you talked about, Kold and Totoro, the duo, making their way into the mid lane.
Yeah, and there's not much vision on the bottom side of the map because the Vitality are, of course, all about protecting Cabochard up on the top side. All of Unicorns come in very coordinated. Neon had the roam up, and unfortunately for Attila, he had to cancel that teleport because the play was definitely in the favor of Unicorns there.
Well executed and well timed as well, because it didn't feel like much was gotten or given back to the side of Vitality. Managed to break down that top lane tower, but mid and bot lane are still holding strong. Of course, the Kennen, definitely not safe, but luckily for him, Jarvan is not a Jace. It is not a ranged top laner. He is going to struggle to approach that tower. Not going to struggle to hurt WhiteKnight, though, there. The airy poke was good at the start, but now it just feels like the fed Jarvan poke might be the key here.
Yeah, he's also up 2 levels, and again, if there wasn't a turret here to protect WhiteKnight, he'd just get dove and die, because right now WhiteKnight is down 2.3 thousand gold on a Kennen.
Sorry, wait. Is that like all of their gold advantage?
That's like all of their gold advantage.
Oh my God.
That's a lot of gold, Drakos.
Well, I mean, then we just have to respect Kold even more for busting out the solo queue strat, which says, I'm sorry, sir, I'm out. You have lost your lane. I will now help everyone else. And for now, that means Exileh. Cabo is here, though. I'm assuming that he can be seen because he's not in the bush. The rest of Vitality, though, are ready to roam, ready to move. The 5v5 surely should be in their favor as long as Jarvan is there. And Kold has to be scared.
Yeah, it's just another invade from Vitality towards the red buff. WhiteKnight's here, he's trying to protect his friend. Maybe Kold will gank for him if he helps secure the red buff, but...
And here's the thing, even if they go, okay, we can 2v1 Cabo, Jiizuke is moving already, so they have to be ready for that Galio to come in. Not gonna connect. And
okay.
Exileh now moving in. They want to get the chain CC going forward. Gragas going to try to stop the play, and it's Gragas. Now they need to pull back Exileh. You already burned your cooldowns, bud. You can't go back in. Immediate use of the Herald to follow up. Vitality going to look to break down this tower on the back of that.
And to add insult to injury, WhiteKnight's trying to roam down. He's losing minions to the turret. Vitality are just reading unicorns like a book. They know that Totoro and Kold want to make a play around the mid lane, so they just go all in.
Oh, the chain CC. Beautiful combo. Flag and drag, the knockup from Rakan, the pillar to stop any movement forward. Another charge down the mid lane. 4K gold lead going to grow to more than 5K on the back of this tower. Ender. This is dominance from Vitality.
Yeah, we're 14 minutes in, already almost 6,000 gold advantage for the team that just took out Fnatic. Fnatic, who are poised to be the #1 team in the league coming into this week. Well, Vitality shut them down yesterday. Now they're trying to put themselves in the conversation.
Jiizuke, the taunt. Combo. Oh my god, no! Gentlemen, you may have bit off a little more than you could chew. They are going to be able to take down Jiizuke in the end, but my god.
Avert your eyes.
If they did not have... They were like 100 damage.
There's not many words for that one, Drakos. Holy moly.
That was terrifying.
Yeah, and of course, again, Unicorns want to make a play around the mid lane, so Vitality say, we'll bring in everyone. And then as soon as Kold gets this barrel that goes the wrong way, Exileh, I don't know why he's going forward here, because the rest of Vitality are like, okay, we can get a kill. Unicorns are trying to run away, and that, of course, sets up for this Herald push in the mid lane. Jiizuke is stone cold.
All right, I guess we'll take that kill. Back to the game.
That was interesting.
Love, do manage to get a tower, and of course, you can see the win-loss record at 15. 8-2 when they've got the lead, and this is a big lead. But remember, it's also like upset week, so at any moment, someone could miss a smite on Baron.
Yeah, there's crazier things that have happened, but this one is looking pretty good here for Vitality. I mean, they knew exactly how to approach this early game, right? Kikis ganked bot lane, then mid lane, then top lane. So he didn't really choose a specific lane to hard camp, but the important one was that he got the kill up topside and shut down WhiteKnight. And as soon as that happens, I think Unicorns go into a little bit of a panic, because all of a sudden you have to look for plays around the mid lane, you can't really focus your attention up topside, and the split push win condition sort of goes out the window, because when you have no pressure, there's no ability for WhiteKnight to ever shove up in a side lane.
Well, Exileh probably can't 1v1 in the side lane. WhiteKnight definitely can't 1v1 in the side lane. So who is your actual split pusher? I don't think it's the Orianna. Cabo's going to finally grab this tower. It's been a long battle of just getting a little bit of chip damage in at a time. But Ender, things definitely look bad for the side of Unicorns Love. And Exileh may be in trouble here. CC goes in as Rakan manages to find that one. Exileh now running for his life. The flash forward, though. Kikis wants to close it out.
Not going to take any chances right there, says Kikis. And there's not many turrets left. Neon has been pushing in the bottom lane this entire time while turrets are falling left, right, and center. As soon as he leaves, though, that means that Vitality can make their way down bottom side because they haven't even taken the turret, the outer turret in the bottom lane. They've been so focused on getting mid and top lane ahead that there's still so much more gold for them waiting to be picked up.
And they see it in the form of kills, not in the form of towers. Cabo knocked out. Ooh, good catch by Jactroll there in the end. Totoro now running for his life. The TP coming in. Kold debating. What does he do in this scenario? Well, for now, let's let his support die. And Vitality grab yet another kill. 9-4 the kill score. 7K gold lead. Just continues to get better and better for the Vitality lineup. But we have to remember, this is an important win for Vitality. It's an important win for Unicorns of Love as well. But when you look at the standings, it's Vitality chasing the top there. Competing with Schalke, looking to catch up to G2 and Fnatic, teams that they can take down, that they've proven in the past that they can beat. Unicorns of Love just chasing for that playoff spot. Maybe this is something, though. Jiizuke taken out again. 3 deaths this game from Jiizuke. Unicorns of Love have found what they believe to be a weakness, and they are focusing on it.
Yeah, they absolutely are. Now the question is, can they get a turret? They need money in the pockets. They're postured right now to try and get that top lane outer. At the same time, the Vitality are all around this bottom lane. Maybe they can even pick off Cabochard, who's running towards this turret as the rest of the Unicorns get ready to cut him off.
He has a Ravenous Hydra. I am really worried about how this goes if they do not layer their CC perfectly, but Cabo's not going to give him any kind of chance. He's not going to try to style on them or outplay. He knows that patience is the key to victory, so he will back off. For now, Unicorns of Love committing so many resources on the top side, saying we will give up this bottom tier 1 tower just to make sure we can control this. Cabo needs to be careful. So many members here. TP now coming in. They're trying to chain it to CC. Now locking him down. The flash out, but that is every ultimate just about burn for a teleport.
All it takes is one teleport from Vitality to completely scare 5 members of the Unicorns of Love away from going for that dive. They don't even get the turret while Attila was pushing down bottom lane. I feel like they almost had to take a chance there. When you're put this far behind, you have to start taking risks. Otherwise, you just slowly get bled out, bled out, bled out. And then once the Baron spawns, Vitality get that and close it out in your face.
It's difficult because these are like the 5 dudes hanging outside of the bar, like, ooh, we're gonna mess you up. And you're like, I don't know, man, I can't handle this. And your friend shows up and they're like, all right, never mind, not as interested. And then your 4 friends show up and they're like, okay, well, we were really just interested in beating up on that one guy.
Yeah.
Can the rest of you please leave?
It's supposed to be a 5v1, right? Like what Unicorns have been doing to Jiizuke all game.
It's true.
It's the only way to kill him.
Absolutely.
Or beat him in a fight.
Yeah, I mean, and weirdly, actually, Jiizuke and Attila, the source of all the deaths this time around. Cabo, Kikis, Jactroll, incredibly active in the team. No deaths thus far. And oh my god, the Kold lead in top lane just keeps getting bigger.
Ouch. I keep saying ouch because I feel for WhiteKnight, man. I'm like, there's nothing I love seeing more in a game of League of Legends than a really solid split push game of Kennen dominating in the side lane, making things happen. That's just not the case.
It's the double-edged sword, though. It's so powerful, but if you die at all, you're stabbing yourself.
Yeah, you're doomed.
That's the other edge of the sword. You are mega doomed. He does have the Blade of the Rune King now. Maybe he can find some advantage. Maybe he can look for an outplay or an opportunity. For now, though, game rests easily in the control of Vitality. Unicorns of Love, Ender, what are we looking at? What are the comeback opportunities?
Oh, man.
How do they bring this one home?
I mean, you gotta hope you can somehow win a team fight 5v5 around the Baron, or just keep isolating players like Jiizuke and Attila, who have been playing very aggressively in this game. It has cost them a few deaths, but Unicorns in a full-on team fight, it's still not going to look good. They have to figure out some way to divvy up the fight, maybe use a Gragas cast to knock away a big team fighter like that Swain from Attila, but it's got to be the actual perfect execution, and I just, look, I don't know.
I think the worst part is if you Gragas cast and then Yasuo, you stop their momentum and they get locked in place. So you can't really pick. You have to pick, do we use this for Yasuo or do we use this to get people away from us? Because the window, the opportunity is such a small time.
They want Attila, Drakos. He's died twice. They want to make him hold half of Vitality's deaths in the game, but even Unicorns, 3v1, are still scared.
And you can see still, while this happens, while Unicorns of Love are hungry for this low percentage play, looking for this opportunity to find a way back in the game, they've now left Exileh alone on the island. Vitality have taken so much vision control on the top side. Exileh says, well, if I'm going to get this, it's not going to happen. I'm actually going to run.
I'm out of here, boys. Makes that run all the way through the enemy base, but 5 members of Vitality are here to shut him down.
This is the funeral march, folks. Can he do it? Is this opportunity? He does have a creep wave. He's now running.
And
the knockup. What? Can he execute?
Oh!
Round of applause for Exileh.
Oh, fight in the mid lane.
Now immediately the fight engage continues.
That's a teleport behind.
Jarvan on the way in. He hasn't burned too many cooldowns quite yet. He's going to look for it. Neon and Kold, they're running right into that funnel. That's 3 members. Cabo sees it, but the body block from Kold is excellent to stop the fight in its tracks. An immediate flash out. A good disengage from Unicorns of Love. Well, at least from 3 of them. Sadly, Totoro locked up. Beautiful headbutt pull, but it just looked pretty, as there's too many members of Vitality to stop that whatsoever.
And now there's 2 members of the Unicorns down. Vitality might even just run straight over for this Baron. The pings are on their way. Kold does not have a flash to get into the pit, does not have an explosive cast to try and knock anyone away, and even though they know Vitality are starting up this Baron, it is going to be a difficult task to try and steal this one away.
Pings are coming out. Kold, he knows there's a massive difference between the teams. He might not know how much, but he knows that if he wants to win, he's going to need to steal this. 8K and dropping. Exileh and Neon are there. Can they do a 5K? Getting lower. It's a slow Baron from the side of Vitality.
They do have a shockwave for this.
Neon, can he find the setup? They're looking for the engage. They the shockwave misses completely. Now it's all on Kold. The taunt is there. The CC, they're stopping him from getting into the pit. He can't do anything. And that means it's going to be an easy pickup. Wait a second. Slow burn in the end. WhiteKnight wants to get something back. Unicorns of Love now looking to turn it. Can they take this one? Jiizuke, he's next on the menu. WhiteKnight, he has the Blade of the Rune King. He can start to chase these targets down. He may not have the damage, but his teammates are there. In the end, a one fight for the Unicorns, but Baron falling for Vitality.
Yeah, they lost the Baron, but Unicorns now have the chance to start getting some turrets, getting some gold back in their pockets. They actually made the team fight work out for themselves. WhiteKnight came in on the teleport, and even though they didn't have the key abilities connect for them, the amount of damage Vitality took while in the pit was enough to swing the tables in that fight.
All right, so I wanted to react to that, and I'm just going to let you talk about this replay because when we get back,
yeah, let's do it.
I have a fun fact for you.
All right, I'm waiting. Ooh, that shockwave really did hurt, but you actually notice Vitality all dip out of this pit while Kikis is still trying to hit onto the Baron. He was not a member of this fight, and then when the rest of Vitality go back, they single out a few of their members. It leaves WhiteKnight for this beautiful flank here on the Kennen, and at that point, all you can do as Vitality is disengage and save a couple of buffs.
And you got to praise the Kennen. Beautiful use of the ultimate despite being behind. Immediately, though, they're going to try to find the pick. Leap out from Jactroll. Yasuo all now gone. Exileh still debating his options as they pull back. Baron buff minions make it a little bit tough to clear, but Unicorns of Love not going down without a fight. However, it's Vitality's turn now. Kikis finds the pillar, but no other follow-up.
There's no room to breathe in this match, Drakos. Absolutely not.
There isn't. And
but
you know what? Attila,
you promised me a fun fact.
Attila doesn't have time for your crap, Ender. This man has a stopwatch and an hourglass.
So that actually works if you don't use the stopwatch. You can build it to get another one. That is actually possible.
Wait a minute, can he double? You're telling me he can double Zhonya's right now?
Double Zhonya's.
He can double Zhonya's.
He can double Zhonya's.
I thought he was mad trolling.
No.
Today I learned, folks, keep your eyes out for the double Zhonya's because the fight is breaking out.
The rest of the Unicorns, they caught and try to defend or just go in.
Trying to look forward, he does manage to find two. The shockwave is immediately there. The Kennen is blocking up the rest of the team. Can they turn it back to shut down onto Attila? He's got two stopwatches, but he can't push either button when he's locked up. Now Exileh trying to run, still looking to fight Jiizuke, no hesitation. The Conqueror means he's still strong. Unicorns of Love are holding on to their base despite a massive deficit.
Somehow they're finding the Wombo combo, the initiation right there from Totoro. Absolutely fantastic. And you notice that gold lead that was up to 8-9K just a few minutes ago is slowly but surely shrinking down, getting closer and closer to Unicorns breaking even in this match.
Ender, you got to take a look at it again because Unicorns of Love, they're finding good opportunities, and Totoro with a great engage, but also WhiteKnight disrupting the rest of the fight.
Yeah, it just knocks it all apart, and the shockwave onto two members immediately destroys Attila before he has a chance to react. And of course, Exileh almost getting the kill down there onto Cabochard, but WhiteKnight, I have to keep looking at him too because he's not being touched in these fights. First around the Baron, now at that inhibitor tower, and he is getting out some good DPS onto the front line.
Which is surprising. He's the AD Kennen in a team fight. This champion is supposed to be an ult, and then it's supposed to die immediately, but WhiteKnight is making it work. Vitality maybe not giving him the respect he deserves. 2-2-1 now. Yes, he's still at a massive deficit, but in the last few fights, he has been the MVP. He's been the guy with the flanks, with the opportunities to disrupt so much of what Vitality are doing.
Now the question is, are Vitality, or actually Unicorns of Love, confident enough to keep pushing forward in the mid lane? The answer seems to be yes, because they just made Vitality lose 2,000 gold off of that Baron power play, and with a Mountain Drake coming up, Unicorns of Love are looking like they want to fight.
Exileh, not going to find the knockup. And suddenly Vitality, they were so confident earlier in the game, and now they're just playing back, but it makes sense because Cabo is on the top side, he's pushing in, the pressure is in their favor on the bottom lane as well. They know that they will get their chance to regain control.
This has been a consistent pain point for Vitality though. They find big early advantages, but sometimes they just pick really bad fights in the mid game, and that often lets games sort of snowball out of control. They still are maintaining their dominance for the moment. This turret was taken down to 1/3 HP on that last shove. They can go back, pick up the Mountain Drake, maybe slow things down a bit, because until they get the next Baron buff in their hands, it's going to be very difficult to actually siege down and break any turrets in the base.
Just have to see how the next few fights unfold. The theoretical power of the incredibly fed Jarvan with the Swain, with the Galio is there, but it's been Unicorns of Love starting these fights, finding the engages. It's been Totoro and Kold making things happen. And it feels like Vitality have the gold, they have the tools, they have the damage. They just need to execute.
They absolutely do, and right now they're waiting in this bush in the fog fort. WhiteKnight was spotted for just a second, so Jiizuke going to be a little bit more hesitant to walk forward, but we've seen this play work out for Unicorns already in this game. Come mid lane.
Oh, dude, they just swept the bush so that they would not think that they were in there. That's a season one
baby!
Exileh finds the engage immediately. Gonna run it everybody. They're gonna find it! Unicorns of Love are not gonna drop today. The shutdown onto Kikis. Everything in their favor now. Vitality falling apart in front of our eyes.
Drakos, I'm telling you, I did not believe. I thought Vitality had so much of an advantage. They should surely be able to close out the game. But this is week 7 here in the EU LCS. Any team can beat any other team in the league, and Unicorns are doing it.
And Unicorns are the original Wombo combo kings here in the ULCS. It was Gnar and Vladimir back in the day. Today it is the Yasuo, the Gragas, the Alistar, Orianna, Kennen. They are so good at pulling the trigger, no matter who is on this lineup, and Vitality are left wondering what happened. They had such a massive lead, Ender, and now look at the gold difference. Unicorns of Love are ready for a fight.
Yeah, it was 2 fights. The first one around the Baron, and guess what? We have another Baron coming up. This one might be the decider. Whichever team can get Baron and get the win, all of a sudden they're looking to break open the other's base, but you look at the moments on Unicorns of Love's side, how have they been able to win these fights? The first one was a great flank from WhiteKnight. The second, Totoro finding the perfect engage.
Talk about it, let's take a look at it. This replay brought to you by Acer Predator.
Let's check it out, man. Oh, they sit in the bush, they use the blue orb to make Vitality confident enough to step forward, but Kold, that was so sick, so clean on the Gragas into the perfect wombo combo. I'm telling you guys, Alistar, Gragas, Orianna, Kennen, that looks good.
Ender, that is exactly what you want.
Oh, that's a lot of zeros. That's like more zeros than I see in Twitch chat.
Dude, I don't know if you know this, but if the Trundle and the Galio are the only people doing damage on your team, you've got a problem, Ender.
Man, we're going to be getting another fight. I don't even want to go into any points because Vitality are looking. Baron buff is alive, and right now, WhiteKnight is split pushing in the bottom side. This is when Vitality need to make a play, or they're going to start losing turrets.
Do or die. They found the engage. They're going to go in. Neon has gone gold, and they've managed to interrupt the ultimate coming in from Jiizuke. Neon is still alive. Jiizuke wants to find the kill back. Now they're looking for an opportunity. Exileh, the last remaining damage dealer, is up with the Kennen in the middle of everyone. Can he find it? No, Unicorns of Love cut down. Vitality, they've given them their chance to play, but not today, they say. We will not be upset. They find the fight win.
That's not an AP Kennen, Drakos. That is 80. He goes into 5 members, but gets next to nothing out of it. 5 members of Vitality are still alive. They have minions in mid, minions in top lane. They don't care about the Baron right now because they're looking for 2 inhibitors.
WhiteKnight, though, still looking for a fight, flashing out to safety. Good moves, but not going to be enough. 80 Kennen, can he get anything else? Does not look like it. Running out. It's not going to happen in the end. That is the shutdown. Going to go over to Jactroll in the end, but Unicorns of Love still holding on to their base at least a little bit. Mid lane inhibitor has dropped, but Vitality have regained a gold lead, Ender, and yet
Yeah, they have.
the game is not done.
No, these fights can go any way. It's all about who can land that perfect combo. In this case, just name out some abilities, some champions, Galio, Jarvan, Rakan, setting up for Kold and Neon to be in the center, get Neon out of that fight. And even though WhiteKnight comes into the center of 5 members, that slicing Maelstrom does next to nothing. He gets 2 auto attacks down because he has to try and kite towards the rest of his team who's on the escape path.
And once again, execution from both sides is so critical, and this time it's Unicorns of Love with those lackluster damage numbers. You can always tell who got picked off at the start of the team fight by who has the lowest damage. Now in this case, it's the Orianna, and she turns out to be a pretty crucial damage dealer in the scheme of things, given that she's where the vast majority of the burst comes from on the side of the Unicorns lineup.
Yeah, so Unicorns, they know the Baron was started up, but have seen now that Vitality have backed away. They have mid lane control, which is super important when contesting around this Baron buff. Now that they know a few members of Vitality have to clear away the minions, well, Totoro might actually just be caught here.
That's the team, though, looking to collapse.
Wait a second.
Totoro with the ultimate. They're splitting up. They go, we see the turn and burn. We know you're going to try to turn this one around. Can he bring it back? Totoro Ball pulls him back to safety. Jactroll now being trying to be the one to find the engage. Totoro has already been taken out. Vitality, this could be their fight. This could end it all if they can find it. Cabochard going forward. No flash means they're going to have to back off for now, but Vitality have gained control of the Baron Pit. They already have the vision set up. They may just look to start it.
Yeah, and right now Unicorns have to pick up a massive wave up on the top side of the map, approaching a fight around this Baron without Alistar to initiate. Going to be so difficult. No flash on Neon or WhiteKnight means the Cataclysm plus Hero's Entrance combo will be absolutely devastating here from Vitality.
All eyes on Kold. Oh, they're going to try to interrupt him. 8K, he's just not here at the right time. Easy takedown in the end. But WhiteKnight, no flash. Yeah, okay. I don't even know if Shuriken can reach that far, but if it can, I don't think that was going to be it. Baron will drop for Vitality in the end, and now the question is, what can they do with it? Ender last time, they got cut down in the follow-up fight. They couldn't put Baron to good use. This time, 5 members strong with that buff. Are we just going to see one final 5v5 to end it all?
I mean, it has to be a fight because even a Vitality roster with this Baron, they're actually still so bad at sieging down a turret. The only ranged character they have is a Swain to auto-attack a turret. That is not much damage. That's a little bit more risky than you want out of a typical AD carry, so it will come down to looking for a pick with the Trundle pillar into the Swain passive pull. If you can catch out any of these flashless members on the side of Unicorns, you win a fight as Vitality.
And that's what we saw when they picked off Totoro in the previous fight. Unicorns of Love not doubling down on the pick, though. If they do survive, they give up the Baron, they give up the Drake. These are things they can afford to lose. Earth, Wind, and Fire for the side of Vitality. Exactly what they're happy to have here, as a lot of people going to benefit from those buffs. Now sieging, though, onto the tier 2 tower. Unicorns of Love, I feel like they've got to just back it up to the inhibitor, and, well, the gold graph tells you the story of this game. Back and forth for sure.
It's been a lot of blue the whole time. But at that 30-minute mark, Unicorns in a very similar situation found an engage with Totoro. They picked off Attila and won the fight. They're going to need something like that again.
Ulti comes out from Totoro. Immediately Vitality back off. They say, we know this is your chance. This is your window of opportunity to find the fight. Vitality playing a lot slower. Respecting it. They don't have a ranged champion, but they have a ranged cannon minion and a Baron buff. 2 minutes left. Unicorns of Love, can they survive the onslaught?
I mean, Unicorns, they almost have to find an engagement right here because there's super minions in the mid lane. This next minion wave from Vitality will break the tower. You don't want to give over 2 inhibitors to this Vitality roster. It's up to Totoro to find the engage.
Forward, Totoro only manages to find one, immediately counter
Vitality!
Oh, blood in his eyes! He finds the opportunity, and it is Unicorns of Love who die. No hesitation, the delete button is pressed. Goodbye to the hopes and dreams of the turnaround from the Unicorn lineup. And hello, Vitality, fighting their way back to the top. Oh, how we've missed you.
Non-stop action, fight after fight. So much blood on Summoner's Rift, but at the start it was Cabochard winning out in the top lane. At the end, it's Cabochard finding the hero engage and finishing the game on a high note.
And man, what an engage. That is what you want to see. We're all going to scroll back to this patch notes. Oh, you remember when Cataclysm got changed to that AoE damage. Everyone inside that is going to get hit up. And that is the burst combo that they needed. Smiles on the team's faces. Maybe not exactly how they wanted to play it out. It was clean. Unicorns of Love caught him a few times. Caught him slipping. But they still found the win in the end. And that's the kind of resilience you hope to see from Vitality.
Absolutely. They're able, once again, to fall down in the mid-game and pick themselves back up. Something that has been a struggle for this team in the past, where they had to win early game to end out on a victory. And again, they crushed the early game. Kikis was an absolute monster, shutting down WhiteKnight's Kennen. But then they still made it work out. They transitioned that. They won a couple of key team fights. The engagements from Cabochard plus Jiizuke were just honey for the eyes.
It was beautiful. Beautiful sight. Put it in a montage, slap it down, wombo combos, volume 1. That said, I do want to give some praise on the opposite side. Unicorns of Love, it has been a rough split, but we did see WhiteKnight. Yes, he struggled early. Yes, Vitality put so many resources into shutting him down, but when their backs were against the wall on the side of Unicorns of Love, he was finding good engages. As well as Kold, who so often was using the casks to stop those engages in their tracks, to interrupt the Galio from coming in. But Vitality have such a big lead, they can afford to lose a few fights, and eventually when they pull that trigger, someone's getting hit.
Yeah, and you just look at the damage graph. Cabochard on Jarvan did the most damage in the game. It's all those 5-man cataclysms, impressive stuff out of him. And both these teams just getting down and dirty with each other. It was a fun game to watch through and through, 36 minutes almost, where it really could have gone either way for just about all of that.
I mean, you see that 30-minute mark, and as we check out this final fight again, know that Vitality are playing safe, but then Cabo says,
look at that, it's a 3-man knockup with the flag and drag into not just the Cataclysm, but the Hero's Entrance and Jactroll coming in to charm up everyone at the same time. Oh my god, we saw so many good wombo combos from Unicorns of Love, but that one took the cake.
To quote you, Ender, as I accidentally mute myself for a second, we call that cyberbullying, kids.
It's true. Stay safe.
Just did there. Stay safe. Stay away from the Fed Jarvan. And you got to respect it because Vitality were so scared of people grouping up. And then Unicorns of Love forgot that they also had to be scared. Of course, you guys at home can weigh in with your player of the game at LOL eSports on Twitter. Kikis, Jactroll, Cabochard are your options. Now, it's hard not to give it to Cabo. I know we're not supposed to influence the vote, but I mean, we could run the play one more time.
Here's the thing. There's a lot of good options in that last list, 3 of them actually, but they weren't all created equal. One of them is definitely better than the others. All I'm saying.
All right, guys, consider it. Twitter, at LOL eSports is the place. Voting, it's important. Maybe you've watched the game. Maybe you haven't, you're going to vote for someone random. That doesn't really help, but we appreciate those too, so vote it up. All right. It's almost time, however, for our match of the week between G2 and Fnatic, who are tied in second place going today. First, though, let's check in with Laura and Vitality's top laner.
Thank you very much, and thank you very much, Cabochard, for joining me right now. Now, we didn't get a chance to talk yet, and it looks like you get more of a carry role in Vitality, so talk me through your role within the team.
Yeah, I think the meta is a bit different than it was last split, for example. I think I took all the last split to focus more on being like the main voice of the team, being able to shot call properly, because I was playing mostly Sion on like all these things that you don't need to focus on your actual gameplay. So during the whole spring split, I took the shot caller role, let's say, and then now I can focus on both at the same time, because the meta is more like I can play Jarvan and stuff. So.
Right, and now taking a step back, because you've been in Vitality for a while now, so what do you think about this year's squad?
Yeah, it's definitely different than what we had before. All these rookies, all this fresh energy, playing with them, it's like a great pleasure. Now we have Kikis joining us last week, and it's going wonders, so I couldn't be more happy.
Yeah, about this one, because I asked everybody in Vitality right now, what do you think about Kikis?
It's great to play with him. I think he has a lot of experience, and as well he played top lane, so he knows like the matchup and stuff, so I don't have to explain as much, let's say, so I'm really happy. Yeah.
Well, thank you for joining me right now, and good luck for the rest of your games. And we're going to take a short break right now, but when we come back, match of the week is going to be Misfits, it's going to be G2 versus Fnatic. Don't go anywhere.
They're just